victim who fought off Reynhard Sinaga and helped bring him to justice joins us now. He remains anonymous, and of course, we won't be naming him. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. A very difficult thing for you to talk about. You sort of came to, in terms of consciousness, mid-assault.
Yeah.
And you fought back against this man. You didn't know what he had done to you, but you fought back so hard that, in fact, you ended up being arrested.
Reynhard Sinaga, the world's most prolific convicted sexual predator, a 36-year-old Indonesian national who lived on Princess Street in the heart of Manchester City. Between two universities with close proximity to the bars and nightclubs where college kids go for a night out, prime real estate to target young men, luring the unsuspecting victims to his apartment, then offering them a drink spiked with GHB, the date rape drug. Then went on to videotape and catalog the assault of 195 different victims.
So I was out with 4 friends, myself and 3 others. 4 friends were out for a night out in Factory nightclub, and early an hour or so into the night, I lost my 3 friends. So I went outside to see if I could contact them. It's 10 minutes past while I was outside. Mrs. Sinaga came up to me and asked me how I was, who I was while I was outside. And as a fellow student, I thought maybe like he was warming to me, he was very just looking after me, like, are you checking on someone outside who's all right?
On February 19th, 1983, Reynhard Sinaga was born in Jambi, Indonesia, to a wealthy family. His father, a banker who owns many luxurious properties, provided more than enough for his family to send Reynhard to school abroad, so they did just that. In 2007, 24-year-old Reynhard arrived in the UK on a student visa, moving to Manchester to study sociology. He told friends he was staying on his student visa for as long as he possibly could. He already had 4 degrees by the time he began studying for his PhD in human geography. Let's just say he really loved the college life there in Manchester. He lived a double life, a postgraduate working on his thesis by day and a serial sex offender drugging then assaulting young men by night. He was a devout Christian on Sunday, and well, I'm starting to think you know how this goes. He hid his sexuality from his family because they would have disowned him had they known he was gay. In Indonesia, homosexuality is deeply frowned upon and still illegal in some states. So he took solace in the liberal city of Manchester for over 10 years, assaulting young college men the entire time. He would prey on young heterosexual men leaving the nightclubs and bars in the early morning hours, luring the tipsy men to his apartment on Princess Street, with the seemingly courteous offer of somewhere to get warm, call a ride, or possibly even have another drink.
Seeing no problems with it, I followed him inside and went with him to his flat.
He was small, soft-spoken, and inconspicuous, aiding to his staggering tally of 195 unsuspecting victims. He would drug his victims, assaulting and filming them while they were unconscious. After regaining consciousness, they'd have no recollection of the night before. Assuming they had harmlessly had 1 drink too many, the confused and embarrassed men ignored the suspicious circumstances. June 2017, his final victim awoke to the assault, then continued to beat Reynhard, sending him to the hospital in an ambulance. It was at this time British authorities collected photos, videos, and trophy items from his apartment on Princess Street. The evidence shown he had attacked 195 men between 2007 and 2017, recording the assaults for hours at a time, having stored 3.29 terabytes of data, amounting to hundreds of hours of footage on his devices. One assault he recorded lasted 8 hours long. Investigators and social workers worked tirelessly, tracking dozens of his victims using their stolen IDs, phones, watches, and the videos themselves. But British authorities have so far failed to identify 70 of his victims. His defense claimed the men were all playing their role in a kinky sex game. All of the sexual activity was consensual, and that each man had agreed to being filmed while pretending to be asleep. But the victims, along with the video and evidence shown in court, tell a very dark and different story. In one video, a man was motionless on the floor for 37 minutes, and just like many others, he could be heard snoring. During sentencing, Judge Goddard said, Reynhard Sinaga has not shown a jolt of remorse, and indeed at times seemed to be actually enjoying the trial process. One victim impact statement said, Sinaga had destroyed a part of my life. Then another said, I have periods where I can't get up and face the day. His convictions relate to crimes he committed from January 2015 to June 2017, but he began offending many years prior. Detectives say they have been unable to identify a further 70 victims and are now asking the public for anyone who believes they may have been abused by Reynhard Sinaga to come forward.